How are we doing today, Greenthumbs? My name is Jade, and this is Master Gardener in Training,
AJ.
We're here to take you on a tour of the garden. It's been a couple of weeks, so let's see where we've gotten. We're standing right now. We've got 2 rows of squash. We originally intended to plant one type on one side, one on the other side, but we must have mislabeled some seeds from last year, so we sort of have a mix match of everything that's going on in here. We have some buttercup, I believe, in here. Growing amongst the onions, great big mullein. This is amaranth that we have growing. And we have another buttercup squash that's trailing along in here. You might be able to see a couple of fruits poking out. We've got a big potato plant that we must have forgotten from last year in there. We've got some more buttercup in this bed. These ones are gooseneck squash. We love eating these fresh when they're young and tender like this, but if you let them grow old, they also store for a really long time. So we like to keep those on the shelves in the winter. We just peel them before we use them then. This looks like another buttercup, neighbored to a potato over here. We've been doing some fertilizing with chicken manure and ash, as you can see here, giving the plants a little boost. These ones are a little small here, starting to put on some male flowers. Next up we have a looks like a little potato cluster we forgot in the ground last year, and I'm not sure we have any female flowers here yet, so we're gonna wait and see what ends up popping up right there. Over on this other side we've got a beautiful oak tree growing right here next to our amaranth. We're hoping they would get a little bit taller before putting on flowers, but this year's been kind of weird for weather and growth. And this one we have a fruit right here. I'm not quite sure what that one is. It's got some stripes on it. It's kind of shaped like a butternut squash. I'm sure it will be delicious and store a long time.
There's another one right here.
We're training the vines to grow along these beds so that we can take full advantage of the length of the beds, because these are spaced out quite a bit. We've got another gooseneck squash in here.
It's already started, as you can see. The female flowers right here.
We've got another one of these striped ones, oblong. Do you remember the names what these might be?
Those might be butternut, but I'm not 100% sure. They look a little different. Maybe they crossed.
They definitely could have. We grew a lot of different types of squash last year.
We did?
These are a couple of other big mulleins, and we have a comfrey growing here. We grow a comfrey for chop and drops because it's got a really deep taproot. That taproot goes down and brings up a lot of the nutrients from the soil that's deep within that most of the plants can't get to. So when we chop the foliage off a few times a year and we use it for compost, mulch on top of the beds, it adds a lot of nutrients back into the soil that our gardens are then able to utilize that they wouldn't otherwise have. These looks like a couple of onion blossoms tucked in there. And we have another little mystery squash vine that'll hopefully give us something fairly soon.
We got some more comfrey.
Yes, we do.
And cap comfrey.
What's it be right here? Just even do a thing.
We don't have anything over
In
there.
this corner we've just got a few raspberries that have been well eaten by the Japanese beetles that we're infested with.
If you want to see some Japanese beetles, they're right over here.
We show them.
They have this defect defense mechanism that whenever that they think that they're dangerous, they'll just drop.
All right, let's go to the main garden.
We got a couple of beets growing in the end here. These are leftover. When you last saw the garden, we had some older peas planted here. We ended up later, just a couple of days later, we pulled all the pea pods that were on the stalks out and we replanted 2 rows of peas, and you can see that they're starting to poke up right here. So
We also got a beet.
yep.
This right here, it looks pretty good.
So we'll give these a few weeks and hopefully we'll get another flush of peas off of there.
Here we got a sunflower.
We do.
Along with some bush beans. Right over here.
Green
Why don't you
bush
move the beans, see if we got any beans in there.
I see that I can see it right here. Oh, come here. Okay, looky.
Got some beans, eh?
Yeah.
We've been picking them pretty steady.
Yeah.
Now eat it. How is it?
Really good.
Good. So we've gotten quite a few beans off of these bushes yet, and there's still plenty of more beans that are forming. So we're looking forward to putting some of those away in the freezer, maybe even canning. This is our onion row right next to here. You can see the onions are starting to get some good sized bulbs on them. They look planted a little bit close. We usually struggle getting the onions to bulb up pretty big, so we planted them a little bit closer. This year I think they could have done with a little extra room.
But they are doing very well. Here we've got some cabbage that has been eaten by the cabbage moth caterpillars.
And it looks like we have some slug friends in here as well. We'll get this guy off of the leaf.
We do not like because we need it to survive with our food.
Yeah.
Let me see
So
if I
on the
can
other
find
side
some.
we have 4 more rows of onions. Not quite doing as well as the other ones over there. They're a little smaller here.
Well, these are seeds. The other ones were sets.
Ah, that's right.
Yep, these are seeds.
So we wouldn't typically expect those to get as big as the onion sets that we planted.
We can pretty much skip this row. The okra isn't really growing, but we got a good strawberry set.
I'm
We do
gonna
have a
see if
couple
I
of
can
baby
find some.
okras. Just starting to form here.
Oh, yeah.
These definitely got a little bigger in the last couple of weeks, and we might have to have a mini fry session and fry up those okra. This is one of our cucumbers that we have. There's tons and tons of blossoms on it, although I'm not seeing any fruit set.
Now, the trick to getting a really good blossom set is just as you start seeing the flowers to form, they need a good potassium boost. Wood ash does that for you.
So here next door we've got some peppers growing. We've got a gorgeous flower set, so hopefully
does
we'll
that
be seeing
one.
fruit very soon off of those.
We also got a little fruit here that looks like it's got some dry skin on it. It'll be fine.
There's a little pepper growing here.
Yeah, right there.
Yep.
Little peppers.
Couple of little baby ones just started.
And just so you know, okra also is very tasty deep fried.
A couple more pepper plants. We have a sage right here. This is for sure all done blooming now. It still smells absolutely delicious.
We got some peppers, I believe, right here.
Yep, these ones look like they have a little bug damage.
This one has barely got any, but here's
short.
another one.
And a couple of potatoes to round out this end.
And then right here,
Parsley.
this is parsley right here.
Mm-hmm.
And I do believe that we do use this for seasoning
For
in
sure.
our food.
Yeah.
All right.
Then if we move over here,
Right next here we've got a wall of beans. These look like green pole beans.
yeah, we got some pole beans right here. Let's see if I can find one for you guys.
We've got
Yeah, look lower on the plant, man. I ate a couple already right before the video, so.
yeah, we've got
Found
a
one.
couple here
Woo!
that are looking real good.
This one's kind of skinny, but still, it'll make a good snack.
Mm-hmm.
Like always.
We can cut around and see what's on the other side of our wall of beans.
there we got a tomato right here. Trying to put up some nice fruits right here. Aren't quite right yet, but they're still pretty nice and big. Right here. Got a couple of them.
We got some fruit set on this one too. Everything is still green yet.
Right here,
About the size of baseballs right now.
right here, I believe we do have celery.
That is celery. Hey, AJ, what'd you try this week?
I tried ants on a log.
Yeah, what'd you
Yes.
think?
It was delicious.
Mm-hmm.
You guys should all try it.
Yeah.
Grow your own celery and stoat it.
Yeah.
So on the other side here, we've got another celery plant.
Another celery right here.
Absolutely.
And the rest of those tomatoes.
And then this one almost looks like a black creme tomato. You can see the coloring is a little darker on the top. Those are one of our favorites. So this coloring usually stays a little greener or darker on top. Brownish color, and the bottom will turn a nice red.
And then right here, I'm not quite sure what this is, but I do think that this is strawberries.
You're absolutely
You are right, man. Good job. And
Our bitter melon at the end here is starting to grow a little bit more.
Exactly. And I do believe that we have tried growing these before.
we haven't actually. This is our first time. That is popular in Japanese and Korean food, I do believe.
And over here, we got more tomatoes.
We do. I thought these were my German pink Romas, but I do believe they are the Amish paste tomatoes here.
Amish aromas.
Yep.
Right here, we got some bigger ones starting to form out.
So I had to go through and actually spray these to save them right after all that 90s. We're still dealing with high humidity and 90s. The blight's taking over like crazy, so I hit them with some copper, slow them down,
And then also right down here,
and then we'll get a harvest.
we got some purple onions, I do believe, right here.
Lining the row.
Purple onions, we got some yellow onions. Right through here, then that leads us back to purple onions.
Yeah, man.
And then we have a few basil plants tucked in here too.
And then it's back
Basil
to
and tomatoes go so well together. They grow really well together. They taste really well together.
And just another thing to keep an eye out for, these I do believe will be ready very soon. Especially that particular
Can't
one.
wait.
Here we got another pepper and
That's actually a 4 o'clock.
4 o'clock. That's going to be a flower.
That's gonna be a flower, and then what is that?
potato.
Tomato. Yep.
Tomato.
It's a volunteer tomato we left grow.
Yep. Give him a cage.
Yep.
And then here we got more squash.
This is cucumbers actually in the squash family, but a little bit different than squash. So we've got a ton of these baby cucumbers. You can see one up here. Pretty sure we got a good sized one hiding in here.
I found two decent ones over here.
Yeah?
It should
One
be.
right here.
Right there it is. Oop.
Ah, there.
There it is.
That guy's real big.
First cucumber of the season.
I'd say we pick him.
Tomorrow.
Give him a little bit longer.
Over here we got some stouts like this. Then tucked in here we got another stout right here.
Yep, these look like a different variety because the spines on these are black.
Yeah, we have a couple different varieties in here.
Here's some more cucumbers. And over here. And that leads us down to...
These are absolutely loaded with flowers. I did see a cucumber beetle on here, and if I can get another one before it flies away, we'll show you what they look like. Those are never our friends, though. We don't want to see the cucumber beetles on our cucumber plants because they will eat them all up.
What do we got there, AJ?
This is more celery.
You're right, man. We use a lot of that in canning, don't we?
Yeah. And here is what we call nature's toilet paper because it's so soft.
What is it?
Starts with a M.
Same as those
It's
big yellow
Melon.
ones. Yeah, dude.
Got it.
It's a mullen.
Yeah, man. What do we got here?
In the next aisle, we've got a little patch
Watermelon.
of watermelons. You're right.
And if you couldn't tell, we already got a nice, decent sized one right here.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I do believe that we got some female flowers starting over there.
Yeah, for sure. We have a couple of more that are forming right here.
Here's another nature.
We got a little one right here. We've got an even littler one right here.
And then right over
Here.
here, we got some more Melon. Nature's toilet paper. We actually use this out in the wild.
You do?
We do.
Who's we?
All of us.
Oh, okay.
And just something to keep in mind to look for, it's really soft and fuzzy.
Mm-hmm.
And if it's got the yellow flowers, then we can usually tell it apart. There's another melon. There we got some more watermelon.
Our watermelons
right here.
creeping all the way along here too.
I think this is the smallest one so far.
And we have another little row of peppers, and we were taking a peek in here, and I don't know if any on these, but over here I know we definitely have some peppers.
right here.
Mm-hmm.
And right here and here.
They grow kind of pointing up,
Like that.
Mm-hmm.
But
so
yeah.
that's exciting to see. These peppers are a bit smaller than the ones that we have growing in the containers, so next year we're probably going to put a lot more peppers in containers.
Here we got some more potatoes.
Yep.
Absolutely,
And
potatoes.
I tell you, bed of potatoes.
And we've been mulching these with aquatic plants that we're pulling from the ponds on the property.
We call it algae only because it just grows on the top of the surface and it doesn't really go in to the ground of the pond.
You can
But-
see that is ready for harvest.
But my sister, Evie, also loves to gather them.
Yeah, she does.
So, and when she does, she just puts it on the top of the boat, on the front, the nose,
Mm-hmm.
and then she does that until she thinks that she has enough and paddles back to shore with the plastic canoe.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, and then we unload it and go back for some more.
And then we put it on here to keep in some moisture.
All
And
right.
there's Nala, just leap the fence.
So we got 3 rows of potatoes.
Here we got.
What is this?
Now I'm gonna have a brain fart because you got me on the spot.
Me too.
Is this Jerusalem artichokes?
This is.
Jerusalem artichokes.
And I'm
We
pretty sure we
sprayed
had
these
this
with
grouping
some-
in a pot last year. And the pot on the ground probably only grew about this tall. So these are
We have
huge. We transplanted these to this spot, hoping that they'd be a little more productive, and sure enough, they shot right up, they bushed out, and these plants will produce edible tubers in the ground, sort of like potatoes.
But they are also doing much better than when we had them in the pot. So if you do start Jerusalem artichokes, make sure to plant them right in the ground instead of in a pot.
They are a perennial, so it does help.
And keep coming back.
And here's some more raspberries we just got right here. These, on the other hand, are
That's asparagus.
these
Yep,
are
that's our
asparagus.
brand new asparagus patch we put in this spring.
Mm-hmm.
And I do believe that it runs all the way down to here. Entire row.
Yep.
And as you can tell, this guy is starting to die back a bit. Because he's turning kind of lightish brown, gray color.
Not everyone's doing super great, but
We's
right here we've got, I think these are cauliflower.
Or cauliflower.
Yep, these look more like cauliflower.
Yeah, they're cauliflower.
They're not putting on any heads yet. You can tell that we've definitely had some
Bugs eating
those
them.
caterpillars,
Yep.
big fat green caterpillars.
Which we call cabbage moth.
They definitely have been munching on the leaves.
Here.
Here, I believe, is a chrysalis of one of them.
Ah, come.
Without honey. What are we doing with them? Here we've got a chrysalis of one of the green cabbage moths. So we're not going to let this guy live because we sure don't want them making any more cabbage moths.
Can I see it? Quick.
The chickens are gonna love
those.
eating these. And then to finish the row off of potatoes.
Yeah, this is definitely one of them.
We got pine needles and aquatic plants for mulch on these.
Which keeps down the moisture, which is what we really need.
Over here we took out the garlic that we had in, and that's drying on the racks right now, curing so that we can store it for the winter. In this place we've planted quite a bit of, we've got cauliflower down at the end there, and we've got red cabbage and green cabbage. So these we just got in the ground, I want to say about a week ago. So hopefully these will take off shortly. We've had kind of warm weather and they prefer it a little bit cooler, so we'll give them some time and hopefully grow up nice and big too.
Never know what might happen.
Let's see.
Here, let's check
We've
the
got,
tag.
you missed a row. This row right here we've got is beets. All these red leaves in a line going all the way down.
Yep.
The red leaves we do call beet greens.
Yep.
Yep, and we eat the beet greens too, for sure.
And then we eat the beets, which are really, really good.
So these, I think, are rutabaga
Yep.
down this row. I want to say turnips in this row.
Parsnips?
Parsnips, I think you're right.
It is parsnips.
Here we've got carrots.
Yep.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3 rows of carrots.
Need to be thinned a little bit.
Growing next to this volunteer potato, we have a Daikon Radish. And this has been really useful on our homestead here. These radishes grow really long, deep taproots, kind of similar to the comfrey. And since we have so much clay soil here, they really help to drive down these sort of pillars of organic matter into the clay soil and improve the soil health. So we planted these one year and we have had them ever since. They're not, I don't think they're invasive per se, but they do definitely tend to pop up, and we like to eat their seed pods. They're really good in a stir fry or in a salad, and they have a nice radish snap to them.
Right here we've got a huge carrot.
That is fennel, actually. Fennel is a perennial, so we just put these in here this year. These will
They
come
are
back next year.
huge right here.
These will get much larger. So we have a few fennel that are right here, and down at the end, getting ready for pickle season, is our dill.
And also right here, these plants, right there, what Fennel is showing you, these are cauliflower.
These plants right here we have are Brussels sprouts. You can see the Brussels starting to form in the nodes.
And we do actually love eating them with oil in a frying pan. We love to fry them.
Garlic, salt, and pepper, and they are delicious.
All right, let's jump up to the hoop house garden.
You want to check out the pumpkin here?
Then we also got
All right.
This is pumpkin.
And this is looking like acorn squash, actually. Right?
And over here,
AJ, pause, please. We got some acorn squash growing in here, I believe. This is a group of, I want to say, something like 12 plants you can see in the center. I don't know if we just had a rotted fruit or two that was in here. We had pumpkins here, so we were kind of expecting pumpkins. So to see the acorn squashes, well, nothing surprising when you get volunteer plants, but we were kind of thinking they were pumpkins. I see a white pumpkin growing in the trellis over there.
right over here, it's right here.
So
This was the old female flower that it was going off of. But right here, it's nice and big. That guy will be ready in probably a couple of months.
Facts. All right, up to the hoop house.
Hoop house. Right here, we've got the hoop house. Well, I might have pronounced it wrong. I do believe it is hoop house. Something like to that
Ooh.
effect.
oh, we forgot to remove them.
Whatever.
we've got some black beans that have just started sprouting.
We took out the garlic in this bed a couple of weeks ago, and in its place we planted some shelling beans. And got creative with the trellising and used the old bed frame and a hog panel that we had just hanging around.
I'm not quite sure what this is yet.
That's milkweed.
Milkweed.
And we do love to eat the milkweed pods.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Even though you might think that they have the milk in them, after they cook, it kind of turns softer on the inside and on the outside.
Mm-hmm.
And it also gets stringy on the inside, which makes for a really good flavor.
So, and then down here in this little pocket, we planted a few zucchini. 6 seeds went in, 2 plants came up.
Here
2
we've
should
got,
be plenty.
All right, the soil's bad in here.
Here we've got some more tomatoes.
Tomatoes.
I do believe right here we have onions from this flower.
Yep, those are onion flowers. These are tomatoes. We got basil tucked in here too with these.
You can tell because of their distinct smell that these are tomatoes.
Mm-hmm.
Here we've got a nice
And then a
decent-sized
few little
onion.
milkweeds. We like to let the milkweeds grow in this bed for the caterpillars. Also helps the pollinators. Nala, 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 out the soybeans. So she's on the trail of something here that's going in and out of the soybeans, must be.
Now, come here.
They're starting to put on a little bit. You can see the bean pods up at the top here.
There's also 2 right here.
So soybeans usually go 2 or 3 beans in the pod.
3 actually, right there.
2 or 3, yep.
Right, this is the worst angle because of you have to think of shadowing and stuff.
And then our dog's just rustling away.
Now, out. Out. Come on. And then creeping up here, you can see we have one of our pumpkin vines. It's made it all the way.
It's spaghetti squash.
Spaghetti squash, even better. Spaghetti squash vines made it all the way to the soybeans.
You know how tall them sunflowers shot up?
A lot.
Yeah, we got some rain this morning.
Taller than you, AJ.
I know.
These ones over here are tiny.
It's a different variety. They stay way short.
They are super short, not even knee high.
Here we've got some milkweed.
Yep, a lot more
And
milkweed.
here we have a caterpillar.
Do we?
Right here, folks.
Don't cut it.
There he is. He or she. But we're gonna let that guy grow because that will turn into a mono.
Yep.
And
We
that
got
is what we want.
spaghetti squash here. Maybe it's spaghetti squash growing in the other row too. These look awfully similar. There's quite a few fruits on this vine.
I do believe that
Looking
right.
good.
I do also believe that right here we do have more spaghetti squash. Right here.
Yep, that's
This fell off. Female flower.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty young. This just started sprouting.
And then we have the rest of this. The
Is-
hoop house here is 4 rows of potatoes.
Right here, there, and there. Here.
And we've done these rows a little bit differently. The rows you're looking at right now, these were amended with ash. And the first row, the far row, was amended with compost.
All right, I don't know what happened. We got a lot of rain and then it got really hot and all these are looking really bad. They're dying. You can see they're wilty.
Right
Who knows?
here is a major mass of flowers that should be flowering.
That's actually the potato fruit seed that comes after the flower. So you can see the white potato flowers down at the end there, and then where AJ is, he's got some of the seed pods for the potatoes.
Right, which
And then you can see right behind him, he's got the volunteer sunflower. About twice as tall. Looking beautiful.
oh, and I did see a shadow of something.
Oh yeah?
Folks would like to see the shadow. I can easily make out what it is. Right there. Japanese beetle. These make a really tasty treat for our chickens here. Although they do also irritate us a lot. So sometimes I just kill them straight up.
All right, on to the last bed.
Garden bed. Our soybeans have recovered after being eaten by probably a little bunny, or maybe more than one. You saw in the hoop house we already have some pods on our soy. There's no pods out here yet. They're not even flowering, but we do have full foliage growth back, so it's looking promising. Hopefully they'll have a decent fruit set by the end of the season.
Right over here we've got some pumpkins.
We do.
Right here, this guy's speckled black, just from some dirt. Really old female flower right here. You can tell that it was about to break off in a couple of days.
And our corn, our popcorn, has absolutely shot up. So this is well over my height, which is about 5.5 feet tall. I would say up in the middle there, they're probably pushing 8.5.
It's even big enough for right there. These are big enough for probably someone to hide in.
Yep.
For a couple of months.
Oh, for sure. We're not quite tasseling yet, so they're still growing a bit, but they're looking absolutely fantastic. Down at the end here, hiding in the shade now, we've got a couple of rhubarb transplants that we put in, and our new asparagus, our second new asparagus patch that we have in over here. So that's about it for our garden tour today. Thanks so much for coming along with us. AJ and I had a blast showing you what we have growing on today.
We did, and I really hope that you enjoyed this video. Comment, subscribe, or like. Either one is fine with us. Just please. And we also have our own customized fabric pots named EZ Swap Pots. And if you go to ezswappots.com, you can find out all of our selections of sizes. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and peace.
We'll see you next time.